the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had climbed out of the sewers and back into the hearts of their loyal and new fans alike. Contributing factors like the 80s nostalgia boom and a deep-plotted new television series were all in the Turtles' favor. It was then time to try and tackle the big screen once again with a brand new film. This time, like everything else, it would be something new and innovative, yet still filled with the same Turtle charm. Peter Laird teamed up with the Weinstein Company and brought a brand new animation studio named Imagi to bring the Turtles back to the big screen with a brand new CGI animated film. The story would not be about their origins, rather a continuation. The Turtles would take on familiar faces but new foes as well. Combined with a stellar voice cast including Sarah Michelle Gellar, Chris Evans, and Patrick Stewart, the new film was ready for the fans, both skeptical and excited alike. With a simple title of TMNT, Leo, Donnie, Raph, and Mikey were back in theaters in March of 2007. Going up against the up-and-coming director Zack Snyder and his comic book adapted film 300, the Big Green Machine took the #1 slot at the box office. TMNT was a success, bringing in $95 million worldwide. The film featured some incredible action sequences, dramatic moments, and a great soundtrack. What got tremendous praise was the quality of the animation. The film would receive an Annie Award nomination for its CGI. Even with a subpar plot, critics were blown away by the attention to the detail and the CGI imagery. They would also go on to say that it would satisfy old fans of the original material. It was safe to say that even though this candle's new flame was flickering, there was hope that it would burn for years to come.
It's ninja time!
With TMNT being a box office success, the next few years would be just as promising. It was hard to imagine that the concept of 4 mutant turtles would pass its 20th anniversary. The current TV series headed into its 5th season and into another new plot. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Fast Forward took the brothers into New York City in the year 2105. There they would meet up with the grandson of their friends April O'Neil and Casey Jones. The Turtles would still be the same, but this time it would be a roller coaster ride of futuristic proportion, once again keeping the ratings strong and the fans coming back for more. The success of their big screen comeback also sparked a new era of merchandise. A new figure line was introduced, and even some limited edition collector's items, including the Turtles in their comic book form, would show up as action figures. Even during the darker times, the Turtles were still coming to video game consoles. In 2004, however, it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Battle Nexus for various consoles that had a very special feature. That was the classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game, just in time for its 20th anniversary. In 2009, the Turtles would celebrate their 25th anniversary. The Turtles would celebrate in style, with a few warm welcomes and fond farewells. 2009 started with the final season of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The final season would once again have the Turtles going through a change, including its biggest change, which was the Turtles no longer having plain white eyes and getting cartoonish pupils. The season did feature a few enemies from Fast Forward, but the main villain was a brand new cybernetic Shredder, which would force the Turtles to go and fight him in the computer world, featuring some Tron-like episodes. The company Ubisoft got the ball rolling on August 5th, 2009 with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, Reshelled. It was an enhanced remake of the 1991 sequel arcade game. It was a worldwide release for Xbox Live Arcade and on September 10th, 2009 for the PlayStation Network. Unfortunately, it would be delisted from various digital download marketplaces on June 2011 due to an expired license. During the game's playability, it was a commercial success, featuring the voices of the 2003 Turtles and incredible sound and image quality. The premise was still the same button-smashing, side-scrolling action that people fell in love with thanks to the classic 1991 game. It was the top downloadable title for the North American PlayStation Network the month of its release. The celebration was capped off on Thanksgiving weekend with a made-for-TV animated film called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles Forever. The movie was a true tribute to the franchise history. It was a crossover featuring 3 different incarnations of the Turtles. The current Turtles from the 2003 cartoon, the cartoon Turtles from 1987, and, for the very first time in an animated version, the original 1984 comic book Turtles. They even kept them in black and white as a nod to the comic. The show also featured the return of the alien Shredder, his daughter Karai, and Krang, Shredder, and the notorious Foot Goons from the 1987 cartoon. While the film did not manage to get the original voice cast from the 87 series to voice their animated counterparts, the film brought the concept of the alternate universe as a main plot. It was a true celebration, giving a nod to all of the various Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle incarnations. It had comic books, overseas, and even their live-action films. At the end of the film, they went back in time to hear the voices of Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird putting the finishing touches on their first comic book, hoping that it would sell. It was a true celebration, especially with the ending of another successful television run. The following year would yield many more surprises. A month before Turtles Forever would air, CW4Kids made a monumental deal with the popular kids network Nickelodeon. Mirage Studios, which of course was created by Eastman and Laird, felt that it was time to let the Turtles go in new directions. They felt that Nickelodeon would be the perfect home for their creation. It was sad to see them go, but Nickelodeon got right to work with a strong marketing campaign letting everyone know that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would be coming back to television in a whole new CGI animated series. On September 29, 2012, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would air. This time the show would feature a well-known cast including Jason Biggs, Roseanne Barr, Sean Astin, and Mae Whitman. Even some of the prestigious voice actors including Phil Lamar and Greg Sipes would lend their vocals. Still, it was the return of the previous actors and voice actors alike who lent their voices to the franchises before them. These actors included Kelly Hu, Corey Feldman, and the legendary Rob Paulsen, this time voicing Donatello. The CGI animation would make the Turtles distinct, giving them each a different body shape that would fit their personality. An example would be Donatello being taller and thinner than the others, and Raphael being broad with more muscles. While there were many elements from the past reincarnations of the franchise, the story was entirely new, and since the very first animated series, it was entirely successful. Even Bebop and Rocksteady would make their triumphant returns to the TMNT universe after not even being part of the 2003 television series. Krang would also return, but this time as a whole alien race called the Krang. The show, like the previous series before them, became a merchandising cash cow, with all new toys and apparel that would flood the open market. Even retro merchandise including clothing, video games, and a brand new Playmates Collector's Edition 1987 figure set, and a brand new vinyl figure fad called Funko would grace the TMNT vinyl figures, clearly resembling the classic series. When 2013 came along, an even bigger piece of news would flood the internet, and to some, it would not be the most welcoming. With the new Turtles series showing small screen success, we all knew that another movie would soon be in the works. Unfortunately, when it was announced who would want to bring the Turtles back to the big screen for the 5th time in their history, it caused a major fan uproar. Nickelodeon had announced upon the acquirement of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that they would get to work on a brand new movie. When Michael Bay was announced as the man in charge of the whole project, the backlash was enormous. Already known for butchering another beloved 1980s cartoon franchise, the Transformers, Michael Bay would do nothing but continue to stir the pot. In February 2012, Jonathan Liebesman began negotiations to direct the film, beating out Brett Ratner. In early March 2012, Bay announced that the film would be simply titled Ninja Turtles, and that the Turtles would be from an alien race. News of Bay's creative change was met with tons of criticism within the fan community. Robbie Rist, who voiced Michelangelo in the first 3 Turtles films, wrote to Bay accusing him of sodomizing the franchise. In response to the feedback, Bay issued a statement asking the fans to calm down since the script had not even been revealed, and that his team was working closely with the original creators to include all the elements that made the fans enjoy the Turtles to begin with. Both Brian Tashi, who voiced Leonardo in the 3 films, Judith Hoag, who played April O'Neil in the first film, voiced their support towards Michael Bay's creative change. Even Peter Laird asked the fans to wait until Bay's plan was more available and understood. Even if if it had nothing to do with the history of the franchise, he felt that it would be a great thing for Bay to make his own creative mark and also be a very successful science fiction film. Other contributors included Corey Feldman, and even the other co-creator of the Turtles, Kevin Eastman, would show tons of support and be willing to contribute to Michael Bay's project in any way possible. Throughout the process of creating the new film, it was hit with more negative feedback than positive, casting Megan Fox, using ILM instead of Weta Digital, and even adding actors like Will Arnett, William Fichtner, and Whoopi Goldberg. Even voices of Johnny Knoxville and Tony Shalhoub added to the mess. What people were looking forward to was the use of the motion capture to digitally create the Turtles for the big screen, rather than using the puppeteering skills that was done with the first 3 films. Eventually, an early version of the script would be leaked online. It featured major changes to the origin stories, as the Turtles hailed from another dimension, Splinter being an alien from the same dimension, as well as Shredder being a government agent who is secretly an alien that can grow blades from his body. Paramount Pictures immediately created a cease and desist order to the website that was hosting the script. Peter Laird read the script and commented on his blog, "All true TMNT fans will be grateful to know that the powers that be would not allow this wretched thing to go any further." At this point in time, the film would receive pushback after pushback, and finally it would get a late summer 2014 release to avoid any competition with family-friendly films, as well as the other major Paramount Michael Bay project, Transformers: The Age of Extinction. Despite all the bad publicity and the fans' pushback, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would return to the big screen, whether the fans liked it or not. No one would be surprised that Transformers: Age of Extinction would be known as one of the worst films of the year, and yet be one of the highest grossing films as well. On August 8th, 2014, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would hit the big screen, and like its Michael Bay predecessor, would receive horrible reviews, yet be a box office smash. The film grossed a worldwide total of $485 million against a budget of $125 million. In its first weekend, the film would open in first place with $65.6 million, and it achieved the 4th highest weekend debut in the month of August. Going up against the most successful film of the summer, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, it would hold the #1 spot at the box office for 2 weeks until the Guardians would reclaim it. Even with a PG-13 rating and a plot that just seemed to be all over the place, the fans had spoken. With such a huge legacy to defend it, it seemed that after all these years, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are, to this very day, one of the most beloved icons of all pop culture. Cowabunga! The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles managed to miraculously avoid a major hit to their reputation, despite all the controversy of their latest motion picture. Not to mention their 5 Raspberry Awards nominations, the Turtles survived. The film did also get 3 nominations for Favorite Movie, Actor, and Actress at the Kids' Choice Awards. A month after the film's release, the animated series would receive a Primetime Emmy nomination for Outstanding Animated Program and a nomination for Best Animated TV Show at the British Academy of Children's Awards. The show itself would see Jason Biggs leave after 2 seasons as the voice of Leonardo, but he would be replaced by voice actor extraordinaire Seth Green. Nickelodeon has already announced that the series will be renewed for a 4th season. Even a new live-action film has been announced for the Turtles. The biggest news was the casting of Arrow star Stephen Amell as Casey Jones. The fans would recently be treated to an even bigger piece of news. After years of patience, Shredder's goon duo of Bebop and Rocksteady, and even Baxter Stockman, played by Tyler Perry, will make their very first big screen appearance. Judith Hoag was also added to the new film. Though she will not be reprising her role of April O'Neil, having a chance to return to the franchise is always welcoming. The world of comic books, however, received a rude awakening, as for the very first time the fans would see a hero fall. Donatello became the very first Ninja Turtle to die in battle. While this did spark a rage amongst the fans, the faithful praised the creators for taking a bold risk, as so many other comic book greats have done before. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have been a staple in pop culture for more than anyone would have imagined. They are a real franchise that can teach you the success and tribulations that a franchise can deal with through time. Yet, through the good times and bad, there has never been a greater pop culture phenomenon like these four reptilian brothers created in the sewers of New York City. In one word alone, for the many years and generations to come, we will now and forever have Turtlemania.
Jungle life, I'm far away from nowhere.